Why do people think PV doesn't work?
Well, in the United States, it's fascinating that, in fact, the number one barrier, the number one reason why people don't buy solar is because they don't think it works. And what that means is that they don't think it's strong enough to power their life, that they don't think solar power could power New York City. They don't think it could power their office building. They don't think it could power their house. And underneath that, what they're really saying and what they're really hearing is that they are hearing us say, would you buy 100% solar power? And quite frankly, they shouldn't buy 100% of IBM, right? So don't buy 100% of anything. Make solar a bigger piece of your energy portfolio. Right now, it's minuscule, but actually just open it up. Make it 2%, 3%, make it 5% or even 10%. Not 100%, but make it a bigger piece of your energy portfolio, and then they'll really start to buy it.
Who might be the trigger to make people buy PV and wind energy in the future?
Well, it's interesting. For 30 years in the United States, we've been saying buy solar power because it's good for the environment. And it is good for the environment. But that isn't a trigger that makes people want to buy it. In fact, people only buy things for two reasons. Number one, they want it, or number two, they need it. And so what you have to do, and actually in the United States, we actually don't believe we even need energy because we have it. It's very cheap. It's very abundant. When I buy a house, it comes with energy. My office, it comes with energy. I don't need to go buy energy. So we need to make it something that people need or people want because they think they don't need it. They already have it. They need to want it. So we need to make it as cool as the iPad or the iPod or the iPhone. Make it something that people really want to get and then show off to their friends. And then they'll keep buying it.
So we heard about the Arizona Public Services. Maybe you can give us some explanation. What's the idea and the goal of this program?
Well, what we're seeing in the United States is that there are a number of utility companies. In the U.S., energy is delivered through utility companies, and we're seeing a number of utility companies that are really starting to get it, that really are starting to say, hey, you know what? Solar can be a piece of the mix. Wind could be a piece of this puzzle. Energy efficiency really does help our bottom line. And that's what we've been seeing with our program in Arizona and our program actually throughout New England, that in fact the utilities are starting to say, we want this because it actually helps our bottom line. And so a lot of the discussion I know here in Europe has been about grid parity. Grid parity in the United States is not simply dollar for dollar on how much energy costs, but it's actually the value also for the utility. So a utility company is saying, hey, this is very valuable for us to have for our customers. Our customers want it. It actually helps our bottom line in that the more energy our customers either create or save allows us to not have to create another power plant. And that helps our bottom line. Or our customer satisfaction numbers actually really do matter. And so our customers are liking us. That really matters. And so that helps create the grid parity that we're looking for. So, in Arizona and also throughout Connecticut and Massachusetts, we do a program on solar that actually is creating a real value-based opportunity for solar. That in fact, people buy solar not simply because it has a rate of return, but because it has a value to them. A value that is very emotional, very personal, that they want to be, the cutting edge person in their neighborhood. They want to be doing something better for their community or their neighborhood. They want to basically beat demand. They want to beat the utility in supplying energy. Whatever value people want, that's why they should be buying renewable energy and being energy efficient.